Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my June favorites. I haven't done a favorites in a while, but I have a lot of products that I use off camera a ton that I never show, or I don't show that much because they're more minimalistic products or just easy everyday go-to products instead of like the full coverage glam. So I'm going to tell you about some goodies. I have powder foundation, I have some lip glosses that are amazing, some blushes, some primers, tons of new stuff. So if you want to know what I've been loving for June, then let's begin. I am partnering with Scentbird for the first portion of this video, so thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. I've been a huge fan of Scentbird, subscribed to them for so long, so I always love working with them. If you're not familiar with them, they are a monthly subscription service that allows their members to choose from over 600 brands in skincare, fragrance, and now cosmetics, so they're kind of expanding. So Scentbird lets you choose a new designer fragrance every month for $15. You get it in a little tube like this, and then you just pop it up and spritz it. What I really love about this is that you can close it and keep it in your purse and it won't be spraying all over. And if you want to change out scents, you just pull it out. This is the size that you're going to get. So it's 120 to 140 sprays. It's a 30-day supply. And I love that it's a spritzer, not a roller ball. And then you just pop it back in. So you can kind of interchange them, which is really nice. There's over 450 scents to choose from. So a huge variety from top name brands like Gucci, Tom Ford, and Prada, and also kind of indie brands like Nest and Glossier. As I said, they're expanding and they're now carrying skincare and wellness and makeup brands like Tarte, Kopari, Glam Glow. So they sent me over the Glam Glow Volcasmic Matte Glow Moisturizer. You guys know I'm a Glam Glow fan. I get a ton of their products and I love their masks. They're really good for like cleaning out the pores. They also have some really nice moisturizers. This one I actually haven't tried, but it might be nice because it says it's a matte glow moisturizer, so maybe gonna give me that glow without making me oily. This month they sent me over some fragrances from Fresh. I've never tried their fragrances, although I have tried a lot of their skincare. My favorite one is Grapefruit. Now this is a little bit more intense than original citrus, and it does even say that. It says it's longer lasting. The notes are Italian lemon, orange, grapefruit, bergamot, lotus flower, rhubarb, musk, and peach. This is very grapefruit citrus to me, and it does feel a little bit stronger, so it's gonna hang on for a little bit longer. So this one is my favorite. I tend to like kind of citrus fruity scents. So they also sent over Rose Morning. This one is definitely like rose petals, more of a crisp kind of scent. The notes are rose petal, violet leaf, black currant, peach flower, velvet musk, warm amber. I don't necessarily smell musk on this. To me, this is like a very crisp, girly rose petal scent. And then they also sent over a men's fragrance. This is the Fresh Cannabis Santal. This is interesting because the notes say wild strawberries, kumquat, dark plum, patchouli, rose, chocolate, vanilla musk. It's kind of like a mix of everything. It definitely does smell very masculine. It says it's supposed to be sensual. I could see that. It's just a little bit mature, masculine kind of scent. So those are the fresh scents that were sent over. I will link them all down below in case you're interested. If you do want to sign up for Scentbird, you get 30% off your first month with my code. I will leave it on the screen as well as linked down below. So don't forget to check that out, and let's get into some more favorites. It's something that I use a lot off camera. I've had it for quite a while. I pop it on here and there, but I find myself always loving my makeup when I use this. This is from a brand called Sun Park, which is a Korean beauty brand. This is called the Beauty Filter Cream Glow. I was attracted originally by the packaging. It's just really beautiful and simple. And I really like this for under my makeup. I use it kind of as a primer or moisturizer. It's not super hydrating, so if you have oily skin but you want something with a little bit of dew, it might be the right product for you. It does have kind of like a pinky reflect, but it's very subtle, and it just sits so beautifully under my makeup. It's a product that I've used seriously for months, maybe even going on a year, and I've made quite a dent in it. You just need a little bit, and I just like that it doesn't make my foundation break up or slip off, but it still gives me a nice kind of hydrated base. So if you're looking for something that's kind of in the middle, where it's not like the Tatcha Dewy Cream where it's like super intense, this is more of just like give me a little bit of an effect but not make me greasy. I think you'd really like this. A primer that I love the more I use it is the NARS Radiance Primer. I saw Jamie Genevieve talk about this, so I picked it up. This is a little bit more hydrating than the one I mentioned just previously. This one kind of gives you that really dewy effect. It does have, I want to say, a little bit of shimmer in it, but it really just gives you that dewy glow, and it sits beautifully under makeup. I really enjoy this. I use it under powder foundation a lot, really any foundation that I'm wearing, and it just looks really nice. It does have an SPF of 35, but look how beautiful that is. It just gives you that reflective, juicy glow, but it's not super thick. It's more of like I would say like a gel consistency instead of like a thick moisturizer. Speaking of powder foundation, I cannot even tell you how amazing this product is. If you haven't seen my powder foundation routine video, it was one of my favorites and it didn't do great because it's a tutorial. I will link it down below, but you guys, this powder foundation literally blew my mind. This is from a brand called Fit Cover, which is an Australian brand. It's more geared toward, or it's marketed towards like working out and having like lightweight foundation that's gonna stay on. I've actually gone through an entire jar of this, and my normal shade is Embrace, and then I have Naked, which is a little bit lighter. The coverage on this, you just have to watch my video to see it. I wear this 99% of the time when I'm not filming because it's so easy. I don't have to do the thick, you know, liquid foundation. It gives me full coverage. You just have to make sure that you put a moisturizer underneath to give it something to stick to. It is just absolutely mind-blowing. It does have a little bit of a radiance to it, but it just looks so natural on the skin. So many times I've used this and taken photos and literally been like, oh my god, my skin looks just naturally perfect. I cannot recommend it enough to you guys. It is a mineral foundation, but I've tried like Bare Minerals in the past and I feel like this is better. I haven't tried Bare Minerals for a long time, but I've never used a powder foundation that gives me this much coverage so quickly and it lasts all day. It's just phenomenal. So the brand doesn't know anything about me. I buy it myself, but highly recommended. So I will link it down below as well as my video if you want to see how it applies. In terms of liquid foundation, I really have been liking the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1. I have the shade MG5. This is a matte foundation, so I like to really kind of prep the skin. This is a long wear foundation. It stays on nicely, and I just feel like it's kind of comparable to like the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, maybe a little bit more matte. It stays on nicely, gives you a good medium to full coverage. It's nice and smoothing. I'm wearing it right now, and I just feel like it looks nice and healthy, but it's still full glam. So again, every day I'm going for this just because why not? But when I'm gonna go for full glam or go out for the night, I've really been enjoying this, and I like to mix it too. I sort of like to use it how I use my Makeup Revolution, where I'll mix it in with something that's a little bit dewy to give me kind of that medium middle of the road look, but still give me the long lasting. So it does have a doe foot, which I think is really nice, and I use that over the pump, but it also has a pump too. So I just think it's a really good foundation. If you like matte foundations, I think you might like this. So I have a face palette that literally blew my mind, and I cannot believe how much I enjoy it. This is from NARS, and this is the Summer Lights face palette. This is a minimalistic person's dream palette. I first saw it and thought it was so boring, and I feel like I've already mentioned this, but I wanted to mention it again because literally it is all you need if you're such like a minimalistic person. So in most days, I will use this to bronze, use this to highlight, and then throw a couple of these in my crease, and it's just so beautiful. The shadows are interesting because they're not flat matte. I think this one might be, but then the other ones have a little bit of a sheen to it. Not like a metallic, they're just soft. It's very editorial, very effortless. If you don't have a lot of time and you just want to look bronzy and healthy, I just feel like this is a great palette. They have another one that's more like maroon, but I haven't tried that one. This is the one that caught my eye, and it's just beautiful warm tones. Now on the complete opposite spectrum, this neon orange palette from Huda Beauty is gorgeous. I really am impressed with this. The mattes are so pigmented and blendable. I've used this a few times now. I did a tutorial I will link down below, but just like this yellow in the crease or the orange or the pink or the red, I mean, it's just so stunning, the mattes in here. These are more like toppers. They do work, but they're like kind of super creamy. They almost feel like they are kind of like a mix between a cream and a powder, and they're not like super metallic opaque. They're more of like a iridescent topper, but it doesn't bother me. So I haven't played with the neon pink one from her yet, but I want to play with that next. I've heard the green one was kind of so-so, so if you were gonna go for any, I would go for the orange one. It's just beautiful, blends beautifully, and it's just like, I feel like it's effortless to throw a neon in your crease and go. I have a couple blushes to mention. The first one, you're probably gonna be like, are you feeling okay? Because I usually hate cream blushes, but this one impressed me, and it's so beautiful. This is from, what is this brand called? It's by Tarte, but it's called Sugar Rush. So Sugar Rush's a sister brand to Tarte, and this is the shade Beaches and Cream. This is their cream blush. This shade is so freaking beautiful. It blends beautifully. I've blended it over powders, and it is literally just like, I don't even know, like that flushed stain, like kind of like popsicle lips, but for your cheeks. You can use it on your lips too. But the reason I love it so much is it's just so blendable. It doesn't pick up my foundation, it doesn't leave streaks or patchiness, and it really does give you that youthful glow. It makes me feel like, okay, I know why people really like cream blushes. There's something about a cream blush, it just looks more natural. I don't know, it's like when you have your powder on and you feel like you kind of look flat, and then you take a setting spray and it comes to life. I feel like that's what cream blush does, but I usually just steer clear because a lot of them will patch up and mess up my foundation. This one does not. So I have a video trying new makeup. I used it for the first time, but I use this a lot. And a lot of times I'll just use a beauty blender and just stamp it in. I don't usually like swipe it on because I feel like that's a surefire way to not be able to, you know, blend it out. But really, really impressed with this. I think they only have one more shade, but this one is just like the perfect color for summer. The other blush I wanted to mention was one of the Sephora Duo Matte Perfection blushes. Now I did pick up, I think 4 of the 5 colors, and every time I wear this color, you guys ask me what I'm wearing, and this is 04 Snapdragon, so it has the purple and then the pink, and I just swirl them together. But I swear, every time I wear this, everybody's like, what blush are you wearing? I think a lot of us stick to the peachy pink shades, but this one, when you blend it out, it just looks like a beautiful flush. That purple just gives it a little bit of depth, a little bit of richness, and it kind of turns into like a, I don't know, like a cranberry flush. It's so pretty. Every time I wear it, people are like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? The formula is super thin, but super pigmented. It's not gonna cling to texture. It is matte, so you're not gonna get any shininess or anything like that. So just really impressed, really any of the shades, but this one stands out because I get so many compliments when I wear it. So I have a highlighting palette I want to shout out, and it's nothing new, but the more I use it, the more I fall in love. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. Of course, I know this is not brand new, but recently I've been diving into the icy shade, whereas I originally would kind of stick with the gold most of the time. The icy shade is intense, and it is like Facetune, like, you know the tones tool on Facetune that you see a lot of people where they really kind of pack it on to make it look like they have a ton of highlighter on? This is like that. Think like Ofra Glazed Donut from Nikki Tutorials. I just love how intense and metallic it is, but it's not thick and chunky. It doesn't enhance your texture. This palette I've had for so long, and I've gotten so much use out of it. I'm just so impressed with the Dior Backstage collection overall, but this is definitely a standout product. I find myself really wanting to reach for it a lot lately, so I thought I would mention it. Lastly, I have some glosses I want to mention, and the first ones are from Buxom. These are their plumping lip creams. I have 2 shades in particular. Whenever I wear these, I feel like I get a lot of questions about them. They are so juicy and beautiful, but they have kind of like that creamy, I don't want to say pastel. I think they have like a pastel line, but these are just like summer popsicle, just like those wet looking lip glosses, and this formula is incredible. So I have the shade Mykonos Sunrise and also Havana Punch. Havana Punch is a cool toned pinky purple, and then Mykonos Sunrise, I feel like a lot of people would really like this one. It's just like a peachy creamsicle. So here's the Mykonos one. You can see it's just like this yellow creamy popsicle, and then this is the Havana, what's it called? Havana Punch, which is more of a pinky shade. So a lot of times I'll just put on my lipstick as usual, and then I will just put this in the center, and I feel like I get so many compliments. It has a slight minty feeling, but it's not overpowering. They're just so beautiful and juicy looking. I just feel like you can't go wrong with these. And something about like a milky, I feel like I either love like a creamy milky lip gloss, or I like a like glittery kind of highlighting lip gloss. These are definitely in the milky realm. And then lastly, these new glosses from Ofra are hot fire. Specifically, Apricot Dream is so beautiful. I've been seeing everybody use it, and then when I wore it the other day, I got so many questions about it. It is just like this really unique light nude shade, but it has a little bit of a pearl to it. It's almost like MAC Oyster Girl, but in apricot coloring. Oh my god, it's so pretty. And then also I have the shade Love, which is like a juicy, same situation, but it's pink with little blue flecks in it, but very subtle. These are insanely juicy, like juicy, juicy, make your lips look huge. I'm gonna go in with the Apricot Dream and just show you. They make your lips look like insanely plump and juicy. They're not sticky, they're not thick, they're just stunning. So this is just 2 of the shades. They have like 15, but overall I'm just so impressed. I think these are gonna be a hit, and I just feel like, especially Apricot Dreams, it's so pretty. All right guys, so that is it for my June favorites. I hope that I kind of gave you some products that I'm using all the time, really focusing on bronzers and skin and primers and glosses and blushes. So hopefully I gave you some new goodies to try out. Let me know what you've been loving for this month, and don't forget to check out Scentbird. I'll have it linked down below. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.